Hello everyone, thanks for joining School of the American Rifle. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the equipment that I use to clean AR-15s. This equipment can be utilized to clean other firearms, but I use it specifically for ARs because that's what I do. Now this setup is unorthodox. There is water inside of that tank, and water is something that makes a lot of people that have been taught to clean firearms a certain way cringe. But if you go to any of the older firearms manufacturers, Smith & Wesson, Colt, things like that, and you go into their service department, unless they've changed things recently for many, many years, they use this method to clean firearms as they came in for service. So instead of having a technician or a gunsmith have to clean a firearm before he can do a function check on it, before he can do repairs, they want to have the firearm clean so they can isolate that issue from some of the possible problems. And a very effective way of doing that without taking it down to pins and springs is to use a parts washer. So you would effectively clean the gun while it is field stripped. So you wouldn't have to take it all the way down to pins and springs. And have various brushes in here, whether they're for bores and chambers or for the outside. Some are more stiff bristles, some are softer bristles. These in here are made for the AR specifically. But what you would do is basically just dunk it in the solution. The hotter the solution, the better. And you would scrub and flush away any of the contaminants or fouling that's built up on the gun. Unless it's very stubborn. Sometimes it requires a soak for that. But the hotter you can get this water, the more effective it is at cleaning. After you're done cleaning, then you'll either transition to a Bolostol and water mix, or you will use an air compressor to blow the components off so they don't rust. I will go into those details on the how-to. This is more of just the equipment and setup. Now this is the 20-gallon model. They do make a model at Tractor Supply Company that has wheels on the bottom. They run about $50 more. I like these models. They're stationary. I don't have to move them around. They run about $100 if they're not on sale. So pretty good deal. This is my second model. My first model that I purchased for home, I purchased in 2015, and it just died at my last class. And I can show you, just so you don't think I'm making it up. There's the old model sitting out back that I'm going to take out to the trash. The inside is rusted pretty bad where the pan is. It would cause the water to get rusty pretty fast. But the reason I had to replace it because the pump finally went out. So 5 years of constant use, and it finally gave out. This model, like I said, it's the same exact model. I just purchased this one from Tractor Supply instead of the one outside, which was Harbor Freight. They work great. Basically fill it with about 15 gallons of water, and then I add a couple cups of degreasing solution. It has a pump. You turn it on, and this one is modified. When you buy them, they come with this little setup here that's attached there. And you can bend this around, change the angle. Basically, it's like a faucet. I'm not as fond of that setup, so that's why the modification was made. A plumber friend of mine found adapters that fit for that. And then I also modified the drain plug. There's a drain plug there on these. So when you have to change the solution, it can be a little cumbersome because you can't use the pump to pump things out. It's not a true sump pump. It has to have a certain amount of water in it to function. So you can't use this to drain it. So you have to pop the drain plug. So a plumber friend did was he found some adapters that replace the drain plug and just turn the valve, take the hose and put it into a drain bucket, whatever you're going to use to dispose of the used solution, and you're up and running. But the standard setup is not bad at all. Now, one caution that I will give you is I do use standard simple green. Simple green on aluminum is a bad thing if you let it soak. So if you're going to use regular simple green for your AR-15 or any firearm that has aluminum on it, you don't want to let it soak in the solution. Simple Green does have another version that is safe for aluminum. It's called Simple Green Precision. They also refer to it as Simple Green Aviation. It's aluminum safe, so you have to be very careful if you use this type of simple green with AR-15s. You don't want to let it soak. I never let anything soak in the solution. It's for quick cleaning. If I do have to let something soak, I'll usually put it in a separate tank with this here, which I will explain, and let it sit with the precision or aviation grade stuff. Now this other thing in here that I added is a bucket heater. You have to be careful with this because it gets hot. So you can already see it steaming. There's coils in there. That outer sleeve is just a protector. But since this setup works better with hot water, this is my way to heat the water up. Now the downside about that particular setup is if you leave that plugged in, this water will get so hot that it will burn you. Not good. So another alternative would be to get like a aquarium heater and put it in there, something that has a thermostat setting. There is no thermostat on bucket heaters. You can get these from Amazon for about $35. So the whole setup here, parts washer, let's say 100, bucket heater, let's say 40 to round up, 140. And then these modifications I made probably added another $20, so 160 without brushes. It's not a budget setup, but very, very, very time effective. So if you like to shoot a lot and you prefer to have your firearms clean, very effective way to clean. In the how-to video, I'll explain the caveats of this method in more detail, but you cannot just take your firearm if it has wood furniture or wood grips and just drop it in here. You need to be very careful that you remove anything that this type of solution would damage, either by soaking or placing it in there. So wanted to share with you the equipment that I use to clean firearms, this and the air compressor. And I will be doing a follow-up video with the procedure on what I do to an AR-15 with this to get them clean so I can either gauge or inspect them. Thanks for watching.